Okay, folks, get ready for this one. We're going deep on something that sounds like it's straight out of
Yeah.
a Monty Python skit. Australia's Great Emu War.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Mhm.
We're talking a war against emus.
Ah,
Soldiers versus birds.
wow.
No joke.
Hmm.
And we'll be diving into
Wow.
excerpts from the Great Emu War, Australia's fight against birds, to get to the bottom of this truly
Yeah.
weird event.
You know what might seem like just some kind of funny story from history?
Uh-huh.
This one really gives us a glimpse into something much bigger.
Okay.
That balance between us humans and nature.
So paint us a picture. Set the stage a little bit.
Right.
It's after World War I. Australian farmers are already having a rough time.
Right.
Then out of nowhere, thousands of emus just appear.
Totally. And we're not talking about a small number here. We're talking historical accounts say
Yeah.
tens of thousands, maybe even more. And they were drawn to these like newly cultivated farmlands.
Oh, so
They had tons of food and water.
Australia basically had like an emu infestation.
Pretty much. Yeah, and it wasn't just about lost crops. This was an economic disaster in the making.
Right.
Yeah.
So naturally, the government was like, all right, deploy the army.
Well,
But they didn't just send them in with any old weapons.
exactly.
They gave them Lewis machine guns.
Like the ones used in World War I.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, it does seem like a mismatch.
You'd think so, right?
Right. I mean, machine guns versus birds.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The emus put up a fight,
They did, and they won.
and they won.
They were surprisingly good at dodging the bullets.
So agile.
Totally agile. Plus, emus can cover a ton of ground.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So the soldiers really struggled to keep up with them.
So it wasn't just like running and dodging, right? I read somewhere that these emus actually like adapted and started using the terrain to their advantage.
That's exactly it. They got smart. They started splitting up into these smaller groups to make themselves harder targets.
Wow.
And it became clear that the military strategies, the ones that work against other humans,
Right.
just weren't going to cut it against this enemy.
I mean, it's easy to laugh at the thought of soldiers
Yeah.
chasing these emus across the outback.
It's hilarious. Right.
But it does raise some serious questions. Like, what does this whole thing tell us about us trying to control nature?
Well, the Emu War, even though it sounds funny, shows the limits of just using brute force against nature.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we got to be adaptable and understand how complex these ecosystems are.
It's like that old saying, nature finds a way.
Exactly.
And even though this might seem like a one-off event, it's a good reminder that we can't underestimate how resilient nature is.
And how ingenious.
And if we do,
Right.
there might be some unintended and maybe even comical consequences.
It really makes you think, what could they have done differently? I mean, was there another way to deal with this without bringing in the army?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, if machine guns couldn't stop them,
Right.
what does that say about how we approach these problems today?
Exactly.
It gives you a whole new appreciation for how powerful nature really is.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
It does.